Today we'll be discussing energy metabolism. This video was created by Estefania Castellanos, Ivan Varela, Brianna Dominguez, and Tiffany Salceda. Cellular respiration is the most important biochemical reaction that happens in our body because it's our primary way to derive energy from what we eat. Most of the carbs we eat will end up as glucose, and with the process of cellular respiration, this allows us to go from glucose to energy. The chemical formula for glucose is 6 carbon, 12 hydrogens, and 6 oxygens, plus 6 moles of molecular oxygen around the cell. And through the process of cellular respiration, we will produce 6 moles of carbon dioxide, 6 moles of water, and energy, also known as ATP. The process is efficient because you go from glucose to 38 ATPs, which will help with things like muscle contractions and other important functions throughout our body. Cellular respiration has 3 stages, which we will be covering in this video.
Glycolysis is anaerobic, meaning it doesn't require oxygen, and this takes place in the cytoplasm. Glucose is split with the energy from ATP. So we consume 2 ATP to split glucose into 2 molecules of phosphoglyceraldehyde, or PGAL. This is a phosphate attached to 3 carbon molecules. So in the first step, we take a 6 carbon molecule and split it into 2 3 carbon PGALs. And this will cost us 2 ATPs. And this is going to happen in our energy investment stage. So we spend 2 ATPs and make 2 PGALs. The 2 PGALs are used to reduce NAD+ and NADH. These PGALs are converted into BPGA, or biphosphoglycerate. So the BPGA will phosphorylate ADP to ATP, and BPGA will then become PGA. The 2 PGA then phosphorylate another 2 ADP into 2 more ATP, producing 2-pyruvate.
The conversion of pyruvate to acetyl-CoA begins by the breakdown of 2 pyruvates. When that happens, acetyl-CoA combines with oxaloacetic acid, a 4-carbon molecule, combined with acetyl-CoA, a 2-carbon molecule, forming a citric acid. Once a citric acid is made, it is oxidized, making 3 carbon dioxides, but you go around the cycle twice and make 6 carbon dioxides. While the oxidation is happening from a citric acid, NAD+ is then formed into NADH, ADP is formed into ATP, and FAD is formed into FADH2.
The electron transport chain takes place in the matrix of the mitochondria in our cells. The process is aerobic, meaning just like the Krebs cycle, it requires oxygen to fulfill the process. The electron carriers are the NADH and FADH2s, which in return produce 30 NADHs because every one NADH makes 3 ATPs, and FADH2s produce 2 ATPs for every 2 FADH, making a total of 4 ATPs, leaving us with 30 NADHs and 4 FADH2s. During the electron transport chain, around 34 total ATPs are created. The final receptor during the process is oxygen, which oxygen binds to hydrogen to make H2O. The advantages of the electron transport chain are the abundance of ATPs produced, and the disadvantages are the need for oxygen to produce ATP. General summary of cellular respiration. Glycolysis starts with a glucose molecule which will break down to 2 pyruvates, 2 NADs, 2 ATPs, and 4 ADPs. The Krebs cycle starts with 2 acetyl-CoA in addition to oxalic acid, which makes 2 NADH during pyruvate oxidation in the conversion stage, leaving with a total of 6 NADH, 2 ATPs, 2 FADH2s, and carbon dioxide. The electron transport chain starts with 10 NADHs and 2 FADHs. The glycolysis stage ends with 2 pyruvates, 2 NADH, 2 ADP, and 4 ATPs. The Krebs cycle ends with 4 ATPs, 10 NADHs, and 2 FADH2s. The electron transport chain ends with 30 NADHs and 4 FADH2s. So in total, after the whole process is done, glycolysis will end with 2 ATPs, the Krebs cycle will end with 2 ATPs, and the electron transport chain ends with roughly 34 ATPs, making the whole process around 38 ATPs from one glucose molecule.